You are not tired because you did too much today. You are tired because a quiet part of your mind has been trying to please everyone. Even when you are alone, you are still thinking about what they think, the message you sent, the way your voice sounded, the look on someone's face, the reply that felt a little too short. You keep replaying small moments, not because you love overthinking, but because your brain is trying to protect you from rejection. And the most painful part is this. People may see you as kind, calm, and easy to be around, but inside, you feel like you're always being watched, not by one person, by everyone. You may rewrite a simple text many times before sending it. You may say yes when your body clearly wants to say no. You may smile when something hurts. You may act like you are fine because explaining your real feeling feels too heavy. Then later, when everything is quiet, your mind starts working again. Did I say too much? Did I sound rude? Did they think I was strange? Should I have said it differently? This is the silent exhaustion of caring too much about everyone's opinion. It does not always look like panic. Sometimes it looks like being polite. Sometimes it looks like being responsible. Sometimes it looks like being the person who never causes problems. But deep inside, you are tired because you are not only living your life, you are also trying to manage how everyone else sees your life. Your brain starts to treat every reaction like a report card. A warm reply means you are okay. A cold reply means something is wrong. A compliment gives you relief. A strange tone makes you question yourself. And slowly, your self-worth becomes tied to outside signals. This can affect the way you see yourself. You may stop asking, "What do I want?" and start asking, "What will make people least upset?" You may stop choosing what feels honest and start choosing what feels safe. This is not because you are weak. It is because your brain learned that approval feels like safety. Human beings are built for connection. A long time ago, being rejected by the group could mean danger, so the brain learned to care about belonging. It learned to notice faces, voices, tone, silence, and small changes in behavior. This is why someone's mood can affect your whole day. Your brain is not just being dramatic, it is doing an old job. It is scanning for signs that connection might be in danger. But sometimes, the brain uses an old tool in a new life. It acts like every small sign is a threat. A delayed reply becomes proof that someone is annoyed. A quiet friend becomes proof that you did something wrong. A small mistake becomes proof that people will judge you. The brain wants certainty, so it creates a story. And if you are already anxious, the story usually becomes harsh. It does not say, "Maybe they are busy." It says, "They are disappointed in you." It does not say, "Maybe the moment passed." It says, "You ruined it." This is how caring becomes exhausting. Not because care is bad. Care is human. Care is part of love, respect, and connection. But when care turns into constant monitoring, your mind never rests. It becomes like a guard standing at every door, checking every sound, every shadow, every change. At first, this may seem helpful. You notice when people are upset. You avoid conflict. You keep peace. You become good at reading the room. But after a while, reading the room becomes living outside yourself. You know what everyone might feel, but you lose track of what you feel. You know how to make people comfortable, but you do not know how to be comfortable in your own body. This is the hidden cost. You may become loved for being easy, but being easy all the time can make you feel unseen because people are not fully meeting you. They are meeting the version of you that was trained to be acceptable, and that version may be kind, but it is also tired. Your brain has two places where your attention can live. One place is the inner room. This is where your real feelings, needs, limits, and values live. The other place is the audience room. This is where imagined opinions sit. When you care too much about everyone's opinion, your attention spends most of its time in the audience room. You keep asking, "How do I look from their side?" But the longer you stay there, the quieter your inner room becomes. That is why you can be around people and still feel lonely. You are close to their reactions, but far from yourself. The way back is not to stop caring. The way back is to stop giving every opinion the final vote. The first thing you can do is name the audience in your mind. When you feel anxious after a conversation, ask yourself, whose approval am I trying to win right now? This question matters because the brain handles clear fear better than vague fear. When fear stays vague, it feels huge. When you name it, it becomes smaller and more real. Maybe you are not afraid of everyone. Maybe you are afraid of one person's judgment. Maybe one old voice is speaking through a whole crowd. For example, you post something online. Then you feel nervous. Instead of saying, "Everyone will judge me," ask, "Who am I really imagining right now?" You may realize it is one friend, one family member, or one person from your past. That does not make the fear fake, but it makes it easier to understand. The second thing you can do is separate facts from stories. Your brain often mixes what happened with what it thinks it means. Someone replies, "Okay, that is a fact." Your mind says, "They are angry with me." That is a story. Someone does not invite you. That is a fact. Your mind says, "Nobody really likes me." That is a story. This works because the thinking part of your brain needs space. When you separate facts from stories, you are not attacking your thoughts. You are putting them in the right place. You can say, "This thought may be possible, but it is not proven." That small sentence gives your nervous system more room to breathe. The third thing you can do is practice one honest micro-choice. Do not start by changing your whole personality. Start small. Say what food you want. Say you need time to think. Say you are tired tonight. Say you cannot help this time. Small, honest choices teach the brain through experience. The brain does not fully change because you tell it, "I am safe." It changes when it sees safety happen. If you say, "I actually want to stay home tonight," and the relationship does not break, your brain learns something new. It learns that honesty may feel risky, but it is not always dangerous. This is how confidence grows, not from forcing yourself to be bold, but from giving your brain new proof. The fourth thing you can do is build internal approval. After an interaction, your first question may be, "Did they like me?" Try adding another question. "Did I respect myself?" This matters because attention trains the brain. Whatever you check again and again becomes stronger. If you always check other people's reactions, your brain becomes better at chasing approval. But if you check your own values, your inner voice becomes clearer. After a meeting, ask yourself, "Was I honest? Was I kind? Did I hide something important just to avoid tension?" These questions do not make you selfish. They make you balanced. You are still caring about others. You are just not disappearing from the room. The fifth thing you can do is let small misunderstandings exist without rushing to fix them. This may feel very uncomfortable at first. If you are used to managing opinions, even a small misunderstanding can feel like an emergency. You may want to send another message, explain again, add more details, make sure they are not upset. But sometimes the healthiest thing is to pause. Not every silence needs your repair. Not every mood belongs to you. Not every small distance means rejection. When you always rush to remove anxiety, your brain learns that anxiety is dangerous. But when you allow a little uncertainty and survive it, your brain learns tolerance. This is not ignoring real problems. If you hurt someone, repair it. If something needs a conversation, have it. But if there is no clear harm and only fear, you can wait. You can breathe. You can let reality show itself. Think of your mind as a house with windows. Other people's opinions are weather. Sometimes the weather is warm, sometimes it is cold, sometimes it changes without warning. But weather should not move the furniture inside your house. A cold reply should not move your self-worth. A strange look should not decide your whole identity. A compliment should feel good, but it should not be the only reason you feel real. The goal is not to close all the windows. You can listen, you can care, you can learn from feedback, but you do not have to let every passing opinion redesign your inner world. Maybe the exhaustion you feel is not because you are too sensitive. Maybe it is because you have spent too long living outside yourself. You learn to read rooms. You learn to soften your needs. You learn to become easy to approve of. And maybe that helped you once. But now you are allowed to come back to yourself. Not all at once. Not loudly. Not by becoming cold. But quietly. In small, honest moments. The next time your mind asks, "What do they think of me?" Pause and ask a softer question. What part of me am I leaving behind to be approved? Because peace does not begin when everyone finally understands you. Peace begins when you stop leaving yourself every time someone might not.